Hello, welcome to Branson Guided Fishing Trips weekly fishing report for Lake Taneycomo, located here in Branson, Missouri. Today is Thursday, April the 25th, and a little bit what's going on. They're still running quite a bit of water every day. A light too. It's not a real heavy flow, but they are continuing to run the water and keep Table Rock down. So if we get some rains coming up in the next month, it doesn't flood real bad. So still running water, bite's still good, fishing's good. From Fall Creek up to the cable at the dam, we're still catching a lot of fish on a 50th ounce micro jig under a float. In the mornings we're using white, something bright that they can see, and then when the sun gets out we're using like a black and sculpin and a ginger and sculpin, all with an orange head. Some days they prefer one over the other, but for the most part that's getting the job done. Also, you can cast a 3/32 or a 16th ounce jig just on 4-pound test on an ultralight spinning rod. That's taking quite a few fish. Same colors, nothing's really changed there. Dragging an egg in a scud, peach or an apricot supreme egg with a number 12 or number 14 UV gray scud, or a dark gray salbug is working well as well. A lot of those fish we're catching on that are on the flats, either the flats up by the outlets or the flats down by the narrows down there. All the way through Fall Creek's dock we're catching them. Once you get from Fall Creek's dock down all the way through Lily's, catching them drifting, not only inflated night crawlers on a drift rig, we're still catching them on an egg and a scud in that area, as well as we're catching some on bait the closer we get towards Lily's and Cooper Creek. They will hit a jig and float with a half micro with a little shot above it. Pink has been the best. Pink with a chrome head, pink with a pink head, been the two that we've thrown the most. When we get down towards Monkey Island and Cooper Creek in that area, if you're going to drift fish, drift power bait, orange and white, orange and yellow seem to be the best. If you're going to float fish, you can use the power worm, or again, we're catching a lot of fish on a half micro Turner Jones jig, and pink with a chrome head, pink with a pink head. So both of those working real well. Once you get down, around Scotty's Trout Dock and down through the landing all the way to Roark Creek, catching a lot of fish, drifting the pink power worm under a float. Also, we're catching a few fish on a pink and white marabou jig under a float, 50th ounce, and even some lighter than that. Also, one of the things that we're doing down there, we're catching a lot of fish, is we're actually using a drift rig, but we're putting power bait on it, or you can use the power worm, and you want to cast it out and let it swing behind the boat if you're anchored. You can catch a few fish doing that. The other thing we're doing is casting a straight line jig, using a 16th or a 3/32, depending on the current flow in the day. And we're catching those fish on that jig. In the mornings we're catching them on white and gray combinations, and then when the sun gets out we're throwing a peach and a ginger, or a peach and sculpin combination. Ginger will work, sculpin ginger will work, but they seem to like that peach and sculpin combination down there for some reason. Anywhere there's a little slack water at the mouth of the creeks, or behind any of the docks is all good. So when you get down towards Rockaway Beach, I spent a couple afternoons down there this past week, and catching a lot of fish down there on the buoyant spoons, the copper and red, and the solid orange with red dots is working real good. I think they call that an 1/8, a 1/8. I'm not sure what the technical term is for the weight of it, but that seems to be the best. You can catch 30 or 40 fish down there around Rockaway on it right now. There's not as much current down there, and those fish are really grouped up. So until next week, good fishing. If I can help in any way, give me a holler or email me on the website. And good luck, good fishing. Take care. Until next week. See ya.